Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome to the feast. What episode are we on now? Episode 77. Hey, let's get that freeze of my face out of there. What's up guys? I disconnected my webcam and I thought that would be slick, but apparently that didn't work right. Lovely. This should be 77, right? For some reason I keep thinking it's 78. Nope, because I just uploaded 75 and 76. Yep, this is 77. How's it going, everybody? Just watch me got spanked a couple times in ranked. It was fun, though. Okay. I've got plans tonight. But I wanted to get a little bit of content out. Again, I think I'm lagging, but we're going to do a show anyways. So, let us hop into it, guys. Match number 1. Alright, spawning in the bottom left, we've got Iris. And his opponent to the right, Amari. Okay. Let's take a look at this map here. So Amari's got a nice expansion kind of right in front of her base. Iris has got something over to the side, so either player should be able to eco up just fine if that's what they want to go for. Iris here is running a fox build. Meanwhile, Amari's got some moles here, got some snakes, and an owl for the late game, but Amari's typically an aggressive player, I feel like, so maybe the owl is just kind of to be safe if the game goes on too long. I'd expect Amari to maybe try to, put on some pressure early on, but we'll just have to see how these players want to progress in the match. James Bowring, TnTTV, did I die and go to heaven? What's up, man? Good to see you in the chat, my dude. Again, I'm pretty sure I'm lagging, but there's really nothing I can do about it, and I still wanted to stream, so here we are. I like this, Amari just trying to maybe freak Iris out a little bit by rallying over with their flag, but not gonna work. Let's see how these players want to open up. Tier 1 Warren coming out for Iris. Amari maybe thinking about grabbing that campfire, saving up some money here. Is she gonna go double tier 1 or no? Straight into the tier 2, which is fine. And I believe Iris got that scout off. Let me double check. Yeah, so he knows it's a tier 2 opening. Snakes are pretty strong. They do a really good job poking down opponents' units, poking down their buildings, denying scout information because they'll poison and kill a commander fairly quickly as well. So overall, a pretty strong opening. And Iris deciding to open up with falcons. Maybe perhaps he's thinking that skunks are coming out of Amari. I'm not 100% on it, but I think snakes do pretty good against falcons, but it does come down to the micro and stuff. But a couple shots from that snake will take down a falcon. Really, if you just got like one stack of poison and then a couple squirrel shots, right? And I'm pretty sure that should be enough. Falcons don't have a ton of HP. So Mari gets the scout off, sees the falcons are there for Iris, and Iris is gonna go into more falcons. So maybe falcons are a good response to this kind of opening. I don't think Iris has seen that it's snakes yet, though. And Amari's going to double up on tier 2 as well. I don't think Amari scouted yet. She's not aware of the second tier 2 Warren come down for Iris. So Iris is going to know that it's snakes now. And sees another tier 2 Warren, and maybe that'll scare him a little bit and think, possibly more snakes are coming. No pigeons here from Iris to help try to buffer against those snakes, so you get enough falcons like this, though, where they can come in and they'll burst down a snake really quick, right? So I'm interested to see how this engagement will go. I mean, it's tough. I'm really not 100%. The toads will definitely help here. But if the skunks can get in there from Amari and do the job of knocking out these squirrels from Iris, that'll leave those falcons very exposed. Really, I think it's just going to come down to the engagement, but it doesn't look like... Oh my... Okay, never mind. I'm right. Ignore that. I freaked out for a second. I saw the timer on the bottom of the screen, and then for some reason I was like, am I not in streamer mode? But it doesn't have the spoiler. Alright, so no early aggression coming out. Amari is going to go ahead and macro up, and it looks like Iris is going to follow suit. He's going to be a little bit behind. Amari's keeping a nice note here, wanting to see how many farms Iris throws down. I wonder if Iris is going to try to fake Amari out and like sell all those farms off, and not going to do anything crazy like that. Just going to go ahead and get his own economy up and running. So we might be in store for a little bit of a longer game here. I'm gonna have to check the VOD and see, because the thing is, if it were skipping frames on the VOD from the lag, then I can just upload the video, right? And then at least the VOD will be good. But it doesn't look like I'm lagging that bad. Alright, alright. So the Fox Warren got placed down here for Iris, and the Owl is coming out here for Amari. This is looking rough, man. Like, if I'm looking at this like on paper, you know, Amari's got a lot of tools here to deal with that Fox. She's got the snakes, she's got the owls, so I'd be pretty impressed to see Iris pick up the victory here just with the compositions, but maybe with some good toad hits, some nice focus fire on the Falcons. Amari even going up to a second owl. And Amari has seen the Fox coming out, so she knows what's up. And Iris actually has not seen the Owl Warrens from Amari just yet. And I feel like turrets are kind of the unsung hero as well against owls. I mean, there you go. I think he got the scout off there. So he knows double owl is on the way. I mean, you need quite a few of them, but, you know, in theory, if, you know, Amari taking this base is going to put Iris in a rough spot. But in theory, if Iris could, you know, grab this base, throw up a whole bunch of turrets here, he could have a decent line to fall back to against those owls. So instead, Iris is going super hard on these Falcons. I like this a lot. We were actually just talking about this in Discord, and I haven't got to really play this kind of style lately. But we were kind of like, well, the Falcon will give it a little bit of extra oomph to the late game for a Fox composition. The Fox is out now, but, you know, with the Owls up front, this is going to be hard for Iris to gain some value out of it. I mean, maybe if Amari starts going really hard on this gristmill, you can sneak over here, poke down a pig or two. Let's see. I mean, even just starting to poke at these mice in the end of the world, the toads are going to come in here and clean up these mice pretty quickly. And 3 toads remain, and the Falcons actually burst down that owl very, very quickly. And Iris is pushing in. Man, that is a lot of Falcons. He started the engagement with 8 Falcons, only a few remain, but Iris is keeping the pressure on. He's still got his tier 3, and the tier 3 has been eliminated for Amari. However, the next owl is here, but Iris is starting to break through. A very nice target fire from Iris right at the beginning of this, you know, just sniping that owl as quickly as possible. And this next owl is going to come out, but doesn't have very much cover, down to 2 HP, and it goes down as well. I think Iris is starting to look pretty good in this game. He's bled off a ton of Falcons, though. However, these owls are the real buffer that Amari has against the Fox, and with those eliminated, Iris can start generating some value here, poking off units wherever he can. Deny this third base from Amari, start getting some map control back. This is a rough area to attack into, though. You know, your units just on that one tile through the water. But Amari's pushing him back for the time being. Iris keeping the Fox alive, but that's, you know, until these reinforcements hit, that was really most of his army there. And Amari's keeping the pressure on with this counterattack, but the Falcons are up in the air. The Fox is still here. Nice target fire down on these Falcons from Amari. But the question is, was this an efficient trade? Both players are on similar economies. Amari starts moving back. She gets these couple tier 2 out of here. That'll be very nice for her, but Iris has other plans in mind, grabs that snake, very nice pickup. Even gonna start working down on the skunk. The skunk goes down as well. Knocking out those 2 tier 2s might be the momentum that Iris needed to seal this game in. Amari just trying to overwhelm this Fox with these squirrels, but she doesn't have enough numbers at the moment. This third base is gonna fall. And Iris stays alive for the time being. Owl is back out, though, and Iris is going to have to downsize on these Falcons. Yeah, he's not going to have that 8 Falcons, right, to just instantly snipe this owl like he did last time. So these mice should start gaining some value. The toads clean up most of them, but still, that's nice trading there for Amari. She's pushing forward. That snake in a dangerous position against this Fox, but stays alive for now. And Amari's pushing in. Does she have enough is a question. Needs to be careful to, at the very least, keep this owl alive through this engagement. A lot of expensive tier 2 units are going down, but the fox down to 6 HP. Amari smells blood in the water. She's moving in. The owl goes down, but the fox is backed up into a corner. The fox is going to fall, and is that going to be all she wrote for Iris? Damn, dude, that toad that spawned just eliminated the rest of the tier 1 on the ground. I got to watch that again on my little instant replay here of the live cast. Like, dude, that was such a value toad, man. That really kept Iris in this game, because Amari, it looked like she had enough to break his back right there. But that toad, man, took out like 4 or 5 squirrels. And now Iris is pushing in with some falcons. He sold off the fox warren so he could produce as many units as possible for this counterattack, and I think this might be too much damage here. Amari's no longer mining. The snake gets here. Some good stacks of poison get inflicted onto these falcons, but I don't think it's going to be enough. And Amari should be tapping out here shortly. Really good game. It skips on the VOD too, says Cold Warp Gates. Okay, so what I'll do then is upload the version that I've got on my computer, and that should not lag. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys. Where are we at? Match number 2. Let us hop into it. Alright, spawning up top, we've got Big Pimpatosh. And his opponent to the right, Lord Weasel. Big Pimpatosh, man, stealing my heart already this game. 3 tier 3. Boar Badger Woof, man. I want it to work, I believe. And Lord Weasel having a little bit of fun too. Rocking that artillery cannon. So, let's see it, man. Okay, if you're Tosh, I guess I mean, I feel like you try to get the Badger first. Maybe a Wolf. You know, buff up some squirrels with a Wolf. A little bit of quick Warren shenanigans coming out of Lord Weasel here. I believe Tosh saw that though, so yeah, he should know. Needs to throw down his own Warren, and he should be perfectly fine. But no, instead, Tosh is gonna go hard, man. Go 5 farm double. Now this was just a 6 farm Warren opening. I wonder if he overreacted to it. Like, let's see. Now, one thing, actually, you know what? I do like Tosh's decision here to go for a 5 farm double, because this Warren is very exposed. Tosh should be able to wait till he gets, 4 or 5 squirrels, and then come in here, target fire down the squirrels. These Warrens aren't going to have the pigs to back them up, so it could spiral out of control. And yeah, I'm worried, man. If Tosh moves out right now, and sure enough he is, as long as Tosh target fires, there's really not going to be much defender's advantage here, because these Warrens are just so far out. Ooh, Tosh needs to be careful. 2 HP on his commander, but his units are in range, so the commander is no longer getting shot. This is what I was talking about, man. He target fires down those squirrels. Now these Warrens are exposed. And this is rough for Weasel, man. I think Weasel needed to sell that Warren when he identified that Tosh was going for a 5 farm double. But he's gonna defend. Maybe Tosh needed to back up a little bit. Maybe he stayed for a little too long. It looked like he was doing really well at the beginning of that. I think after he killed the initial squirrels, maybe he should have brought it back for a minute, regrouped a little bit, because then it just got to the point where it was like, well, Tosh is like 2 or 3 squirrels, and I've got 2 or 3 squirrels that are spawning. But overall, a nice little bit of early aggression. Lord Weasel has not gone up to 8 farms. Instead, he's just rocking more and more tier 1 Warrens at the moment. Are you in need of more replays? Ask the gentleman. I am. I've got plenty of replays, my dude, but if you want to shoot me one over, I'd be more than happy to cast a gentleman game. And Lord Weasel's coming in with a big counterattack here. Again, keep in mind, like, the reason that he's got so many units is because he did not go for 8 farms, so Weasel really needs to get some damage done here, if not just straight up end the game outright. But his commander goes down. Always brutal. He gets 1 Warren, but Tosh is going to be able to defend this from here. And now I believe Tosh is in a nice spot, just because Lord Weasel hasn't been farming. I guess he's had this campfire for a little bit, so that kind of helps. The wolf coming down. All right, yeah. I don't mind the wolf first. That kind of makes sense, right? I mean, wolf buff squirrels are pretty strong. Does Lord Weasel get the scout off? He does. He knows the wolf warren is on the way. And let's see how he decides to react. Snake seems pretty good. Maybe trying to macro up. You know, he's got, you know, less than 100 seconds at this point, but he's still got about a solid minute or so before that wolf hits the board. So he's got a little bit of time to decide what he wants to do. Right now, he just wants to build a ton of squirrels. Hope that this campfire will help edge out a bit of an economic lead here. Campfires can be rough, man. Like you gotta respond to them, because you know it's something like, I think it's a 12% increase to your economy. You know, so you just have 12% more. And it doesn't sound like a lot, but it definitely can be. It can be the difference between reinforcing with a few more squirrels or not. You know, Weasel coming in, but that turret, I would be careful about trying to do this. If he is going to go for it, he needs to target down that turret ASAP, but he decides to back off for now. And this is looking better and better for Tosh, man. The clock is ticking. Once that wolf hits the board, Tosh can put on some aggression with some buffed up squirrels. He can boost his economy. He's definitely got a lot of options available to him. He's going to go ahead and get the board tier 3 out. Yes. All right. Now he just needs to get the badger. Weasel trying to get a second base, trying to throw up a cannon. Yeah, now this wolf is going to boost production. Yeah, and as Gentleman points out in the chat, that wolf will also boost the production of the other tier 3 units when they get going. Now Weasel's got a decent economy, but I just don't think he's gonna be able to handle this. The snakes are finally coming down. That artillery cannon is a little bit far back, but then again, artillery cannons do have ridiculous range, so... Oh, he even sells it off. Yeah, I think that was the right move. I don't mind seeing him build an artillery, but I'd like to see it a little bit more up front. It's 6 snakes on the way. I think that definitely is the play to make. Tosh has got his own expansion up and running now as well, but the farm lead is still in Lord Weasel's favor. Oh, the wolf needs to buff that boar warren, man. I think he's worried about maybe mining out too quickly with his wolf, perhaps. Trying to keep it away from those pigs. I'm not sure. More turrets coming down. And why am I streaming when other people are streaming, man? We got Miss Clicker streaming right now. We got Gabe and he's streaming. All good dudes. Okay, so now 5 snakes are on the board. Snakes are pretty good against tier 3, but it's gonna come down to the targeting. Not a lot of pigeons here, but the number is rising. Tosh is just taking count of the gristmills on the map, making sure Lord Weasel doesn't have a third base. Indeed, he does not. I like the turret creep, you know, not going crazy with them. Maybe sell this back one off, you know. Just have a nice little spot he can retreat to. And here's that artillery cannon. Is it going to be up in time, though? Tosh is looking like he's thinking about moving out. A very bold position to throw that tier 3 warrant. If Lord Weasel just happens to take a stroll over here and scout that out, man, those snakes will delete that in an instant. I think Tosh is just hanging back, though, because he's probably a little bit afraid of these snakes. Wolf buff boar is really fun to watch. Dude, I can't remember the last time I've seen a wolf buff boar. I'm pretty sure it's happened. I've had to have seen it before. Just not in a long time. Sells that badger warren off. Yeah, maybe he decides it's too risky of a spot to really try to be getting that up. So, nice little pickup on that turret, undefended there. Every bit of food counts. This is going to be hard for Tosh, man. I want to believe. But with this artillery cannon here. And Lord Weasel is looking like he wants to put on some aggression, man. 6 snakes. That's quite a few snakes. Some say that's more than 5. Alright, getting some more harassment done, but maybe he clumped himself up too hard. This boar is starting to throw down the flamethrower, but Lord Weasel's retreating maybe a little too hard there. He gets a couple of units scrimmed off the sides, and another kind of half engagement here. Neither player wants to commit all the way. They're just kind of poking and prodding at one another. Lots of snakes going down here for Lord Weasel, though. I mean, Tasha's got to make something happen, because if he doesn't, then the map's going to split basically 4 versus 3. If he could, I don't know. I think this Gristmill probably won't be taken. I think it's a little too contestable. But still, Weasel could easily get these 4 bases, versus the 3 here for Pimpin' Tosh. Badger Warren is up. He needs to pay for it still, but he'll have the food momentarily. I wonder if he's going to try to pull the trigger when the Badger comes, or if we're in a little bit of a stalemate situation here. Lots and lots of snakes on the way for Lord Weasel. If Lord Weasel can just kind of take this 3rd base uncontested, get that economy going, he's going to start having money, especially if engagements aren't coming down, to start financing a few owls here and really start putting the pressure on his opponent. Now, Tosh trying to sneak this 3 o'clock base. I like that. Pretty risky. It wouldn't be too hard for Lord Weasel to scout that, even accidentally. Let's see how many farms Tosh decides to build there. Alright, the Badger's almost here, man. I'm getting excited. I probably shouldn't hype you guys up. Like, just because the Badger's almost here, it doesn't necessarily mean he's going to move out, right? But 18 pigeons. That's a lot of pigeons. That should definitely help out against the snakes from his opponent. Mortar turret's coming down, but I think he needs to try to put these turrets up here on this high ground and maybe start thinking about defending this possible 3rd base up here as his next expo. But no, he's going to be sneaky and take this 3 o'clock base, and look at that artillery position. That's pretty cool. Ooh, okay, Weasel almost... Did he scout it? No, he still hasn't seen it. Oh, this artillery makes you definitely think twice about engaging, man. The buffed up Badger is coming out, gets a couple stacks of poison on him, but he's got a lot of healers up, back up the high ground here. I like taking this base too, like even if Tosh isn't gonna necessarily saturate it yet, because it's probably gonna start looking suspicious to Weasel if he doesn't take it, It's like, well, where's your 3rd? You're gonna need a 3rd here soon, right? Because 2nd bases are almost mined out. Yeah, now the turrets are getting established up here on the high ground. Going up to 14 snakes here is Lord Weasel. Badger number 2 on the way, and Tosh is definitely going hard on that base, man. If he gets away with it, Lord Weasel would have to be kicking himself in the rear here, watching the replay later on. Trying to get some harassment damage done with this Badger. Alright. Kind of rinsing and repeating here. You might want to try to move the Wolf and the Badger over to guarantee that Badger constantly gets a buff. But no, Tosh looks like he's going to go for it here. No, he doesn't fully commit. Backs out. Let's see, might fast forward a little bit here as we're starting to get into a pretty late game tooth and tail scenario. We're already at the 12-minute mark here. Can't believe Lord Weasel still doesn't see this base. Now he sees it. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, yeah, I like this a lot. He just moves the squirrels over to deal with that base. And that's not even really going to give Tosh an opportunity to move out in response, right? Like, this base is just going to go down. And Tosh is thinking about it. He starts moving in. Alright, one of the Badgers falls there. Oh, what? Oh, okay, I guess, yeah, he rallied all. I was gonna say, there's no way those pigs cleaned up that many squirrels, right? No, a little bit of miscontrol there from Weasel. He used the rally all button and got a couple of his squirrels to come home for that engagement. Toad's taken out a Gristmill. Alright, it's always good. Boop, boop, boop. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's say if that toad got taken down by those pigs, man, would have been hero pigs. All right, Weasel's looking pretty good in my opinion. Maybe leapfrog these artillery cannons up a little more forward. The gentleman pointed out in the chat these artilleries could be a little bit more aggressive here. Yeah, he sells one. I'd like to see him rebuild it, you know, in a very aggressive position somewhere up here north of his base a little bit. Just gonna slide it up a little bit. That's probably fine, to be honest. I mean, the range on the artillery is pretty ridiculous. But Weasel's in a good spot now, man. Tosh is not mining. For the most part. He does have this base, but he doesn't really have it saturated yet. Tosh moving in again with these badgers. The badgers are buffed up, at least one of them is, but one of the badgers goes down. The other one's got 5 stacks of poison, and the pigeons aren't healing it. Pigeons! There you go. These wolves have stayed alive, and now there are 2 of them. This artillery cannon's gonna get up. So now this is gonna be 2 arty cannons just shelling down on Pimpin' Tosh when he tries to move in. This is going to be a rough front to attack into. I wouldn't even hate to see Tosh maybe try to swing around the side and base race? Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. God, snakes, man. 8 stack of poison instantly on that gristmill. Gets it down to half HP. Tosh freaks out a little bit, sells that building farm there. But Tosh is gonna have to go soon, man. He's running out of money here. Alright, Weasel positioning his units, and you know, I think this is good play from Lord Weasel. Like, he doesn't have to push into this position from Big Pimpin' Tosh. The onus is really on Tosh to make a move. Because Weasel's still got an economy going, and could probably even expand over here just fine if needed. So as long as he can kind of prevent Tosh from mining on this base, prevent Tosh from capturing this gristmill over to the side, Weasel can kind of just win this war of attrition. Slowly but surely. 16 snakes, man. That is a lot of snakes. That's too many snakes. A lot of danger noodles here. Ooh. Trying to retreat like that. Bleeding off a lot of snakes. Tosh getting into the face of Lord Weasel. One of the badgers goes down. Is the other one gonna live? Needs healing. 20 stacks of healing on it. 8 stacks of poison. It does end up living. The wolf is in danger though. 4 stacks of poison on it. That wolf will definitely go down. He's still got 1 left though. And the gristmill gets enough stacks of poison on it for Lord Weasel to take that out. So Tosh is now starving. So he's probably going to have to sell off a couple of these tier 3 warrens. Weasel should probably sell off a couple of his snake warrens. He doesn't have to downsize too much, but I'd probably sell off like 2 of them. You know, go down to like 12 snakes. Still too many snakes. Alright, Tosh gonna try again, man. He's gotta make this happen. This is kind of unfortunate for Tosh. Rolling the dice a little bit, hoping his opponent doesn't have snakes here with all these tier 3, but Weasel playing this very well. Staying in the game, yeah, downsizes a little bit on those warrens, just trying to produce what he can, and now he can go ahead and grab this base as an expansion. It's gonna be really rough for Tosh to actually come over here and deal damage to that. Dude, 17 minutes in, you guys. This game is crazy. Am I still lagging? I'm probably still lagging. I've dropped 42,000 frames, you guys. I'll upload the VOD and delete this so that way the VOD won't be laggy. I know a lot of people watch the VODs as opposed to live, so especially when I just randomly say, hey, I'm streaming, and start streaming. Alright, yeah, Tosh is going to go for the base race. Probably his best bet. I don't think he can deal with Lord Weasel's army in a head-on engagement. I mean, that's a lot of snakes. Gets a couple gristmills and is probably going to back out, or is he going to commit into this engagement? So many snakes here. Does Tosh have the DPS output? Lots of stacks of poison. getting up on those badgers, but they're staying alive for now. One of them's about to die, but he's still got one left. Still got 6 pigeons here in the sky, and he's actually broken through here. All the snakes have fallen. And Tosh might be on his way to a victory here. He is starving, though. He's got to build a gristmill right now. No, he's just got to win. Yeah, well, he'll be able to because this is the last gristmill of his opponent. And Tosh, with a flank attack, ends up winning a 19-minute slugfest against Lord Weasel. Good lord. That was nuts. Maybe 16 snakes is too many snakes. Is that the lesson we learned? Maybe if you had some squirrels in there to buffer for like 8 snakes? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Alright guys. Good to see everybody. Welcome to the show. See a couple new faces in the chat. How's it going, guys? If you are hungry for more Tooth and Tail content, check out the Pedro's Time Zone Showdown. That happened last Saturday, I want to say. Hopefully I'm right about that. Yeah, and then next Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Tooth and Tail 1-year anniversary tournament. Join up with that, man. Even if you don't play competitively or whatever, it's just for fun. And that's going to be on September 12th. I think I'm going to try to do that as early as possible for our European viewers and participants. So I'm hoping I can get out of work at 5. I might have to stay late. If I have to stay late, there's not much I can do about that. But I'm hoping I can just kind of race home, start the stream at 6, and we can get a tournament going. You can sign up for that tournament in the Discord under the tournament section. I think it's pinned. I think you like thumb up the post or something is how Massive Stealth has it set up. I could be wrong. No, yeah, I think you do that. Let's see who's in the tournament so far. We got a lot of people in here, I think. Yeah, there's a good amount of participants. Something like 20-ish. Let's get those numbers up, man. It's rookie numbers. Let's have a round of 32 for the 1-year anniversary. Match number 3, guys. Let's hop into it. Alright, spawning on the bottom, we've got Cold Warp Gates. And his opponent up top, Slyfox. Slyfox is an old school player, man. I think he's been around since the early days. Basically as long as I've been around, if I recall correctly. I think I remember seeing Slyfox back in like September, October of last year. So cool to see. Cold Warp Gates, I believe, started playing in around like February or March, maybe during one of the big Steam sales. And he's a very formidable player, so I'm looking forward to this match. We see some mines, we see some chameleons and barbed wire, a couple units that don't see as much play as the other ones, but I still think they're fine. It's really cool to see little uses of barbed wire, like for example, just putting like one piece right there. You know what I'm saying? I love stuff like that. Looks like it's going to be 8 farm openings from both players. Slyfox grabbing that campfire right off the bat, though. I don't think that's safe. If Cold Warp Gates rallies over, you know, with an 8 farm double, I believe he should be able to take that out. I think you need to build at least one warren before the campfire for it to be safe. I could be wrong, though. But instead, Cold Warp Gates is going to answer that greed with his own greed and go ahead and grab a gristmill. And from there, he can decide to either throw 1 or 2 farms on there to try to counteract that campfire economic advantage. So Slyfox not messing around, though, grabbing his own gristmill. So both players kind of giving each other a nod and saying, we're gonna go eco here. We're gonna go straight to that mid game. Nice little bit of mine placement here for Slyfox. I'm not sure if Cold Warp Gates has seen these mines, but one thing that's really cool is that these mines kind of act as wards in a way. Like look at his vision, you know. I mean, that's pretty awesome. One of those mines was taken out. And I don't think Warp Gates is aware of these other couple mines, because if he was, then he'd just use that one squirrel to go take those out as well. Slyfox is being more greedy, though. And when you're in an economic game, typically the greedier player has an advantage. We'll have to see. Cold Warp Gates is going to get a scout off and see that there are already 5 farms there. 6 farms, really, if you include that campfire, so Sells off a Warren, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him just go straight up to 8 here. Yeah. All right. So both players are gonna have super powerhouse economies this game. Let's see how they can. Let's see what they want to build up to. Sly Fox doesn't have any tier 3, which isn't the end of the world. I mean, chameleons are pretty good. I feel like chameleons and falcons both stack really well. Falcons probably better. But, you know, getting like 8 or 10 chameleons is definitely crazy, too. We don't see chameleons as often as we used to. Probably, if I had to guess, because of snakes. I feel like, you know, snakes will kind of win against chameleons in most of the matchups unless, you know, those chameleons can, you know, stay stealthed and get right up on the snake's face and take it out really, really quickly, you know. Hey, what's up, Bonk? What's up, Frost Shaft, License to Draw? Good to see everybody. Cool to see some new people in the chat, man. Thanks for the follow, License to Draw. I appreciate it, man. I disabled my follower alerts because I was in anything that can make me lag must go mode earlier. Looks like we are lagging a little bit still, but again, what I'll do is just upload the VOD from my computer, so then the historical VOD won't have any lag in it. It's always cool to see some new faces and see, man. Alright, so Cold Warp Gate's trying to get that third base up. And if this game goes super long, like, I'm kind of favoring Cold Warp Gates here. I mean, this third base that Sly Fox is trying to take right now is going to be pretty hard for him to defend because it's so close to his opponent. I mean, he can throw some turrets down, but, you know, once a Fox gets up or something like that, it could be pretty rough. This barbed wire is cool, but it's money that could be spent somewhere else. I'm a little worried about it in that regard, but it's not the biggest investment. I mean, it is 180 food, though. But Sly Fox has 180 food in his own defense as well. And I think Sly Fox is doing a very good job here setting up this third. I'm actually pretty impressed that he managed to do that. Nice little pick off there. Good map, you know, awareness by Warp Gates to double check on that campfires. Notice that Sly Fox tried to be sneaky and take it. And here come the Falcons. This is what the big economy was for from Sly Fox. 18 Falcons on the way. He should have the economy to afford that much production too, or be able to support it, I should say. Warp Gates is now aware that a lot of Falcons are coming out here from his opponent. Love to see him drop a Fox and try to get his own Falcons up. That Fox Warren does get placed down. And Sly Fox actually transitioned completely out of Tier 1. Dell is streaming and he didn't tell me, says P-Boop. Lies. I totally messaged you on Discord, sir. I messaged you and said, got a 2v2 for me, gonna do a quick show here in a few. Mr. Man, Mr. P-Boop. How dare you? Lots of barbed wire coming down from Cold Warp Gates. It's a shame that Sly Fox is going for so many Falcons, because I'd love to see this barbed wire really come into play against a whole bunch of lizards or something. But I guess it'll slow down the chameleons, but the chameleons can take out the barbed wire, so if anything, Cold Warp Gates is in the chat, and he's just like, yeah, I was having a little bit too much fun with that. But if Warp Gates can kind of push in, knock out these turrets, and have an opening for the Fox, I mean, as long as the Fox keeps its distance, the Fox does phenomenal against Falcons, you know. It one-shots them, so you can get a lot of value that way. But when you have that many Falcons, man, if you barely misstep with your Fox, if it's just a little bit too far forward, it'll get deleted in an instant. So the control of this Fox is going to be very important. And Warp Gates doesn't have an easy answer to take out these turrets to kind of give the Fox a window. Did Sly Fox scout the Fox from his opponent? No, Sly Fox actually hasn't came in and scouted in a while. Dude, what are we watching, man? Last game we saw like 16 snakes, 18 snakes. Now we're seeing 24 Falcons for both sides here. And the map kind of gets split. 3 bases and a campfire each, and this last gristmill here in the middle probably won't be taken from either side. Oh, man. Barely gets that Fox out in time. I know it sounds weird to say that because it was full HP, but Dude, that Fox will die so fast to those Falcons. But those Falcons from Sly Fox are taking a lot of damage from Cold Warp Gate's Falcons by trying to target this Fox. Ooh, the Fox is still at 7 HP. And now Cold Warp Gates is in a dominating spot, man. I think Sly Fox misplayed there a little bit by trying to dive on the Fox and ignoring the Falcons of his opponent. Because as the Falcons are moving up, they were just kind of getting hammered by the Falcons of Warp Gates here. And now Warp Gates feels confident enough to come in here and start trying to break down these turrets, giving this Fox a little bit more breathing room, and this might just be too much. Kind of a weird game. We build up for 8 minutes to these huge armies, right? And then it's like, well, Cold Warp Gate's gonna win from here. There it is. Sly Fox taps out. That, you know, I feel like Sly Fox was in a phenomenal position that game. He just wanted that Fox a little too bad. I don't blame him, man. I probably would have done the exact same thing, so. Okay. Alright, guys. Let's do a 2v2. Alright, spawning on the bottom, we've got Premium Bow and Swift Paw. And up top, we've got Spirit Bear and Sly Fox. Spirit Bear is another old school name. Cool to see these guys coming back in, man. And enjoying a couple rounds of Tooth and Tail with their buddies. I want to say I recognize the name Swift Paw. Am I crazy? Am I crazy, P-Boop? Wasn't Swift Paw playing back in the day? I think he was. I think he was. And I will update my YouTube this weekend before you get on to me about it. I might actually do that after I finish streaming here. Alright. Triple Tier 1 Warren off of 4 farms coming out for Swift Paw. Everybody else is just kind of macroing up at the moment. 2v2 is a whole different beast, though. When you go straight 8 farms, I think that's kind of risky in 2v2 as compared with 1v1. Let's see. Swiftball actually sold off one of those Warrens, unless I'm crazy and he only had 2 in the first place. But it doesn't look like he's going to get aggressive here. Expansion's already coming down. Sly Fox trying to be sly and grab that base over there. But it's going to be pretty easy for the green and blue team to just kind of scout that out almost on accident. And the Tier 3 Warren already on the way. P-Boob getting that fast woof, man. We just went 8 farm, gristmill woof. This is a man build here. A little bit of barbed wire coming out. But it looks like Premium Bow's going to get away with this fast wolf, which definitely can be a big deal. I mean, helping to boost that economy early on, helping maybe get out some other units fairly quickly as well. I don't think that Tier 3 was scouted. It's in a wonderful little hidden spot there. It's going to be difficult for the opponents to scout that out moving forward. I'm getting a little worried for green and blue, though. I feel like this battle line being drawn from Swiftball is too conservative, and look at this. Sly Fox. Sign my mouse pad, man. That's insane. Maybe, I think these squirrels should be able to clean this up. Yeah. If the balloon was, like, smart and targeted what was firing at it, I think maybe the balloon could have killed those 3 squirrels, but with the balloon, you know, hitting pigeons and lizards and stuff like that, not gonna work anymore. Sly Fox with a lot of money in the bank. He's getting some falcons. This is a really weird game, you guys. I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm really worried for green and blue, though, because it looks like yellow and red are just gobbling up this map completely. So in that kind of situation, green and blue just really need to come out with some powerhouse moves here. Maybe Swiftball is a newer player. I think it's kind of a natural reaction of beginners to try to turtle up. He didn't grab the 7th and 8th farm there. But no worries. I mean, it's just a friendly 2v2. And this balloon gets up again. This is going to be more of a pain in the ass here for poor Swiftpaw. Ooh, he can get around that way. Very nice. Oh man, Swiftpaw making some plays. He should be able to get in here and get a lot of damage done to all these pigs. And Slyfox really went hard on making Gristmills here. He's just gonna target this down immediately. He's got pigeons here to help buffer against his pig fire, but gonna lose a lot of units in the process. However, totally worth it to knock out a fully farming mill there. Red is moving forward though, but Premium Bow's got enough. The wolf is out. The skunks are buffed up. The squirrels are buffed up. Pushes the opponent back. Nicely done here from Swiftpaw, knocking out that base, and good job from Premium Bow, keeping the opponents at bay. Dude, this barbed wire balloon, man. I love it. Is there an opening right there? No, I don't think so. It kind of looks like it, but if you look at the mini-map, it's all green right there, so I don't think he can get through. P-Boop's like, whatever, man, I don't care. Rushing up, he's gonna let these skunks tank this barbed wire. Make oh, the skunks go down though. P-Boop. Red trying to poke in, but 1v2s normally don't work out so well. And Slyfox has been, you know, so cheeky this game. He really doesn't have an army, man. He's just got a ton of defense. He's been trying to get a big economy going, but, you know, P-Boop and Swiftpaw have just been all over that. And Swiftpaw moving out on the map, you know, with some pretty good decision making, I feel like. Like, he's not moving out with big armies, but, you know, he's kind of getting stuff done when he does. And as I say that, he gets cleaned up there by staying too long, but I like the idea originally of trying to deal with that. And meanwhile, Premium Bow eliminates that base over the right. Now Premium Bow is really becoming a threat this game, I feel like. As if there's anything friendly about 2v2, says Cold Warp Gates. Fair enough. This isn't very friendly, man. 18 barbed wire, 4 balloons, tons of turrets. It's just mean. It's cruel. Really trying to reestablish this position is the red and yellow team. Meanwhile, Swiftpaw rather, you know, needs to get a second base up and running. We're past the 5-minute mark here. So these main bases should be mining out here shortly. However, since Swiftpaw didn't take those farms earlier on, I guess the consolation prize here is that he's got those to keep powering them forward in this game a little bit longer. Alright, Spirit Bear. Gonna try to get something done, but Premium Bow's army is so big. Look at this, man. Look at that graph. He for sure will be able to take on Spirit Bear in a 1v1 here. Maybe if Slyfox is there to help, but Slyfox doesn't have any units. This is the entire army of the red and yellow team. The P-Boop just slices through it, man, with 6 skunks, a couple ferrets, a wolf, all kinds of stuff. I can't believe this base is still here, man. What a weird game we're watching. Alright, finally, Swiftpaw able to grab a second base. Meanwhile, Premium Bow is going to keep the pressure on. I was going to be like, you know, P-Boop's just kind of playing with his food at this point, but that is a lot of defense to try to break through. Nice timing there, preventing that balloon from going up. These couple ferrets really getting a lot of work done. Ooh, that balloon, that was pretty cool from Slyfox. That kind of took the ferret shots, you know, keeping that gristmill up a little longer. Oh. Spirit Bear is going to try to move in again, and this is just not going to work. Premium Bow's a ton of stuff here. That might be it, man. I feel like P-Boop could really just counterattack from here. Yeah, red taps out. Yellow's starving. I imagine he's not going to be much longer for this world either. Maybe, let's see. Is he going to stick it out? Look at him. He's like, man, just attack into it. Come on, let me have fun. You guys are going to win. He just really wants something to happen here, man. Slyfox is hanging on. But it ain't gonna work. These balloons are not protecting this gristmill from these ferrets up here on the high ground. And those ferrets should be able to get in and hit that as well, but I think the balloons would probably protect it if the ferrets get too close and maybe try to come in there. But either way, Premium Bow simply got too much at this point. Sly Fox is starving, but he's got plenty of defense he could sell, but I think that's all she wrote, you guys. B-boop! Yeah, there you go. I love it. That's the move to make. Now Sly Fox can't take another gristmill. He's got 30 seconds left. He wants that campfire, but it's already been mined out. And he should be tapping out now. Well, he's dead in 6 seconds, so either way. GG. Okay. Alright. We'll do a few more. I'm going to take a very brief break though, you guys. I will be back in a minute or two. Alright, I am back. Okay, what's up, people? How's it going, everybody? Thanks for tuning in, man. It's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure hanging out with you guys and casting some games. Okay. Alright guys, let's hop into match number 5. I might get a bonker. Yeah, we'll do 5-6 and maybe a game for bonk. Just threw some in. Let me see if I can get that lined up real quick. Ooh, a whole bunch of bonkage. What's the best game, bonk? I want to do a 1v1. Ooh, pancakes, Saint Abroad, or Melvin Fro. Kind of feeling some pancakes, man. You know what I'm saying? Alright. Okay, I think we're all good. Let us hop into match number 5. Alright, spawning in the bottom, we've got Parsival. And his opponent up top, Strownel. Alright, Strownel with a pretty interesting deck here, man. Wolf Owl, Mine Artillery Cannon with Lizard Mole. Parsival has the Squirrel Toad, though, so I'm a little bit worried for Strownel. However, I did see Mistglicker pull off some pretty cool Lizard Mole stuff, kind of using the moles to tank the Toad hits for the Lizards, so I don't think it's impossible. The Parsival's kind of got more of a tried and true kind of composition here. Where Strownel has a little bit more of an interesting deck. So I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Strownel with a quick Warren, and did Parsival scout that? Yes, he did. Okay, because he responded with his own, so nothing too crazy yet. This is going to be rough for Strownel to attack into Parsival's base. However, if Stroundle had ferrets, this would be very rough for Parsival, but luckily for Parsival, he does not. Single lizard crossing the map here, gonna try to get something done. It can't, it's forced to go home, but no harm, no foul. It does delay that farm a little bit from Parsival, so a little consolation prize there, I suppose. Parsival choosing to throw down a second tier 1 warrant before going up to 8 farms. Kind of interesting there. I wonder if that's kind of signaling some aggression, or maybe he's a little bit afraid of Stroundle in these attacks. Now, this isn't really the spawn Stroundle was looking for, you know, with this kind of single warren, lizard, harassment kind of opening. It can be really effective, but when your opponent's kind of tightly knit, you know, I mean, this is such a defendable position for Parsival here. Like, he's got a moat. You know what I mean? He's got a moat. He's got one entrance. He's got double high ground. Ideally, you know, lizards kind of shine in that opening when there's several ways to get into your opponent's base, you know. And you can kind of attack from multiple angles, like they have all their units over here, and then all of a sudden you swing it with some lizards that way, or something like that. Parsival looking to get a fast expansion. Meanwhile, Stroundle going straight up to that owl. Hasn't been scouted just yet. Excuse me. But this isn't a bad kind of response to it anyways, I don't feel like. I mean, skunks do pretty well against the owl. Toads, it's hard to say. I mean, you could probably have a debate about it, you know, like, obviously toads detonating on free units is bad, right? But if the toads detonate and kill all the mice, then the mice can't get a whole bunch of damage done, or it gives you an opportunity to get in there and pick off the owl, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could work. It just kind of depends on the situation. You don't want those toads to just detonate on the mice willy-nilly, you know? It needs to be with purpose if you are going to do that. It needs to be like, alright, man, I'm going to detonate 3 or 6 toads on all the mice and then move in while he's vulnerable and try to hit with that momentum. The owl still has not been scouted by Parsival yet. He's got to get in and see it now. But he's not going to be happy that warren's already up. But even further, the owl is now spawned. But still, lots of lizards here for Stroundle. These toads, man. This game might come down a lot to these toad connections. We'll have to see. Artillery cannon going up. Stroundle, man. I'm loving it. Really interesting playstyle here. You know, we don't normally see artillery cannon, and we don't normally see players only running lizards without squirrels or toads. We see tier 3 rushes in a similar build order as what Stroundle performed here, but normally it's not the owl, it's usually the fox, maybe a badger or a wolf. And see, this is what I'm talking about. Now does Parsival move in? However, these toads are gone, but yeah, they still get some nice connections on these lizards, and Stroundle just doesn't have enough here to defend. The artillery cannon, though, is starting to help out. All of his tier 1 is gone. These owls are still up in the air. The Gristmill goes down, but that's not the end of the world. The skunks go down for Parsival. But I think Parsival is okay. Yeah, it's tough if you're Parsival here, man. You don't want those toads to go off on the mice, really. You need to keep those toads to deal with the lizards. Alright, Parsival just gonna try to come in and get on top of this artillery cannon. Stroundle is close enough to respond, though, and that artillery cannon lives. And that puts Stroundle in a fantastic position. Parsival traded a lot to try to get that cannon there. Yeah, look at that army value graph, man. Absolutely insane. The single owl from Stroundle here, really worth its weight in gold at this point. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him just continue moving forward with these mice. Yeah, he just wants those mice to go ahead and get in there and get some damage done, trade with some units, detonate some toads, and kind of rinse and repeat. Blech. Someone give that cannon a medal. For real, dude. Alright, Stroundle again gonna get in here and pounce on top of this attack from Parsival. These lizards making short works of the falcons, and I think this is just too much damage here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Parsival tapping out momentarily. Nice victory there from Stroundle. Really cool style coming out there. The artillery cannon did really good there. I mean, I think it was partially because Parsifal, pulled the trigger thinking he had enough when he didn't. You know what I mean? Or maybe he thought Sroundal's army was more out of position, because it did look tempting if you're Parsifal there. He doesn't see the army around, but the army is really just like right behind him. Okay. Let's throw in a bonk game. What do we want? Didn't I say pancakes? You guys want some pancakes? I'm feeling some pancakes. Man, I'm too hungry. It's making me want actual pancakes. Boom. Alright. So we will do the doggo match, and we will end it on some bonkage. Maybe I'll host Miss Glicker for once. It's opposite day, man. He always hosts me. But I will return the favor this time. Oh, it's full random. Yeah. Dude, Miss Glicker goes full random and does pretty well with it. Alright, guys. Let's hop into match number 6. Alright, spawning on the right, we've got Epic Story Guy. And his opponent up top, Doggo. Pretty cool decks from both players here. Epic Story Guys. I actually like Epic Story Guys deck. That seems like it would be pretty fun to play. Really ferret, snake, harassment centric. Probably doesn't want to take the game too long. He doesn't really have anything that's going to scale well into that late game. And Doggo, pretty interesting to see him grabbing the Badger without any pigeons here, but you can't always fit everything into your deck right. So he's taking a little bit of a risk with the Badger, and the pigeons synergize really well. As the Badger gets that full throttle wind up, does a ton of damage, and pigeons help keep it alive. But even more so here, the snake is just a fantastic answer to tier 3, especially when your opponent doesn't have pigeons. So I'm a little bit worried for Doggo, but we'll see how this game pans out. I mean, literally nothing has happened yet. A little bit of a mole rush that was responded to correctly by Epic Story Guy with that turret. No harm, no foul. Actually, I don't think the mole took damage. I wasn't paying super close attention. I remember hearing the turret fire, but I think that was on Doggo's commander, if I am not mistaken. So yeah, let's see how these guys want to open up. Doggo floating a little bit of money here. Is he going to open up in a weird way, or was he just kind of out and about scouting too much? Yeah, it looks like he's just scouting around. It really doesn't matter. I mean, if you've confirmed your opponent's going 8 farms and you're going 8 farms, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll scout out on the map until I have 120 food, come back, build 2 tier 1 Warrens at once, instead of hitting that like perfect timing where you spend your 60 food. Really, the only time you want to hit the perfect timings, or have to, I should say, is on farms, in my opinion. You want to make sure you burrow back to your base and queue those farms as quickly as you can. Alright, Doggo rallying over. This is a weird map. There's just a whole lot of nothing over here. This map is actually really small. It doesn't look like it, but it's very small, very linear. And it looks pretty favored for Epic Story Guy, in my opinion. He's got, 4 bases he can get up to on a high ground over here. Doggo is really just has access to this one base, and even that base is going to be hard to take. So I like this play from Doggo. Building the moles. He wants to get aggressive here. I wonder if he's taking this gristmill, yeah, just to throw down a little bit of barbed wire. But Toads here for Epic Story Guy, man, if they get some good connections, yeah. They dealt some nice damage there, but the moles soaked up a few of those toads, so Doggo trying to pull back to the gristmill to try to get a few of those squirrels to fire on those, but Epic Story Guy with some great target fire there says, I don't care to fight next to your gristmill, man. I'm going to target fire your squirrels down anyways. And Doggo's in a pretty bad spot, man. Let's see if he can manage to pull it together. But Epic Story Guy, getting the better end of that trade, knocking out that gristmill. And what's even worse about it is, Doggo kind of has to be aggressive, I feel like, here. He doesn't necessarily have to pull the trigger now, but the best case scenario, he's going to get 2 base play, right? Snake's on the way for Epic Story Guy. Gonna get a good scout in, see what's going on. Nothing crazy. Only tier 1 here from Doggo. Really just wants to get up some barbed wire and try to plant his flag, put his feet down here on this gristmill. You can make Pigeonless Badger work if you have enough tanking. says P-Boop. Yeah, that makes sense. The moles should definitely help out tanking in that regard. But the snakes are out on the board now, and Epic Story Guy can really abuse these snakes and just try to tag these tier 1 units. It only takes one shot of poison to kill a squirrel, so keep that in mind. And Doggo's going to go for it. Is the barbed wire going to help out? The toads don't really connect as well as they normally do, and Doggo, with great use of barbed wire here, starts looking alive in this game, takes a favorable engagement for himself. That's exactly what he needed. And is he going to transition into Badger from here? He sells off a lot of Warrens. No, it looks like he's going to grab his own snakes, maybe throw down a couple farms. Yeah, another thing too, it's going to be rough for Doggo to ever really come over onto Epic Story Guy's side of the map and really see what he's got going on. You know, I mean, snakes make it really hard to scout, plus with that turret right there and this choke point. Doggo's just trying to leapfrog, creep this barbed wire up a little bit closer to his opponent. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, I mean, you could argue Doggo, if you really want to be tryhard, could maybe try to sneak in and scout that way. But scouting against snakes can be very hard, at least in my experience. Oop. Yeah, again, Doggo's just trying to get in, but the snake poison is super real, and his commander goes down. That's going to give Epic Story Guy a nice opportunity to come in here and get some harassment done, but Epic Story Guy's commander is going to go down to those snakes as well, man. I'm telling you, dude, snakes just kill commanders so fast. Ooh, doesn't quite get that ferret. The pigeon should be able to heal it. Oh, man, it got close. I was starting to bleed for a second. You know, that's exactly what Doggo needs at this point, you know, trying to pick off a tier 2 wherever he can would be very nice for him. Now he's going to have to do the dance against these ferrets, try to mitigate the losses here. Needs to be careful, cannot afford to be losing these snakes. That snake is going to go down with that stack of poison on it. But snake goes down for his opponent as well. And now Doggo is fighting underneath this barbed wire again. It helps him out, but Epic Story Guy didn't YOLO quite as hard into it as he did the first time. But it loses his own snakes there. I think a ferret went down as well, so definitely bleeds off some units. But still in the lead, at least according to the army graph. However, Doggo's got an okay economy, and Epic Story Guy has not been able to get in there and really harass to the extent that he would like to with these ferrets. But again, I mean, every little shot like that, you know, just deals a lot of damage. And Doggo's going to come in here and prioritize killing those ferrets off. That snake sitting in the barbed wire is going to go down as well. Doggo loses his snakes, but he's got a falcon left. He's got a lot of squirrels. Thinks about pushing in, but backs off for the time being. Nice little engagement there for him. Yeah, an Epic Story Guy just really needs to keep this harassment up. You know, he's just constantly got to be in his opponent's face, poking with these ferrets, just getting every squirrel he can. You know, keeping the pressure on Doggo. He's trying to find a better angle here. Gets in and scouts, sees how many... Oh, needs to be careful with these ferrets. Playing a dangerous game here. Doggo's moving forward. Epic Story Guy manages to retreat back to his Warrens. Doggo losing a couple tier 2 here. Ooh, that snake. Oh, man, lives at 1 HP. This is a very scrappy game, man. I think Doggo is playing very impressively here. Alright, trying to come over to the side. He's committed with this angle. Is this a mistake? I guess time will tell as the snakes go down immediately for Doggo. Epic Story Guy begins to hold, but he doesn't have any front line. He doesn't have tier 1, but the Falcons are going down as well for Doggo, and that might just be too much damage. Doggo probably thinking about tapping out. Gonna go ahead and check Epic Story Guy's base. Sees that he's got a decent economy behind this and says, yeah, that's too much damage. Very well played from both sides. A nice victory there for our common folk player. Alright guys, one more match, and I'm gonna call it. Let's hop into it. Boom. Alright, spawning on the right, we've got Pancakes, 28. His opponent to the left, the one and only Bonker. Alright, Pancakes. It looks kind of standard. You know, Bonk's not getting super, super crazy, but he is going Woof Owl, which is always fun. I love seeing Woof plus another tier 3. I don't know if it's the best thing in the world, but it's fun, right? Like, Woof Fox is so much fun, man, when you manage to get them both out. But you could make an argument, you're probably right, that it's a little bit of a win more kind of thing, you know what I mean? Where it's like, well, did you really need the Woof, you know? Or is it just fun to have the Woof? Maybe you needed it, maybe you didn't, who knows? A couple of early warrants here for Pancakes, and Bonk is looking to do the same thing. He's just kind of thinking about where to place them. So both players going to open with 5 farm doubles here. Maybe Bonk goes for a double, or does he just decide to build some... yeah, he goes for a double. But the Lizards here for Pancakes will beat the Squirrels in an open engagement. However, the Squirrels should be just fine on defense with that defender's advantage. Let's see, though. Pancakes has already got 2 Lizards here. Can he pick off a corner pig? Doesn't look like it. Oh, maybe. He thought about it. Squirrels are here, though, for Bonk. If Bonk would have just opened up, like, 8 farm Warren, then Pancakes would have for sure got that pig. But the pig's hurt, and Pancake's going to come in with a couple more Lizards, but he needs to group them up before he's going to be able to take that out. So he backs home for the time being. Yeah, going to go ahead and grab some additional farms here. I definitely think that's the right move to make it. It's always tricky in these 5 farm double opening situations. Like, you can't screw around too much on getting up to 8 farms. And both players grab that 7th farm and an additional tier 3 Warren. Actually, Pancakes didn't throw down I'm sorry, additional tier 1 Warren, but Pancakes didn't throw that down. A nice engagement there for Bonk. Very poor trade for Pancakes, losing quite a bit. And so Bonk is in a decent spot now. Let's see where he's going to take the game from here. Pancakes thinking, okay, maybe if I can take the space, be a good way to get back into this game. I don't think Pancakes is like down for the counts or anything, but Bonk is, you know, racked up a nice little bit of food lead against his opponent. This is definitely still a match here. You know, it's not like, oh, Pancakes lost too much, there's no way you can win. But I like this from Bonk, man. Get those skunks out, and maybe once those skunks are here, apply some more pressure. But he needs to be careful. I mean, if Pancakes just went like hardcore Lizards, you know what I mean, and just built up to 18, 21 Lizards, that's going to roll over Squirrel Skunk without any toads there. Yeah, I don't know. Like, 9 Squirrel, 2 Skunk. For Slow would be the same amount. How much is 2 Skunks? Isn't that 240 food? So that'd be an extra 6 Lizards, right? If I mathed correctly. So it'd be 9 Squirrels and 2 Skunks for 15 Lizards? Would be the same amount of food? Balloon going down for Bonk. And it's actually going to do very well. Like, I actually really like this Balloon positioning. It allows him to grab the second base pretty safely. The Lizards still can do a bit of a runaround attack through here. Actually, well, they can, but it would be hard. And he's going to go ahead and try to target fire down that balloon immediately. Nice pickup there from Pancakes. Loses a few Lizards, but I still think it was worth it. Yeah, this opening is still here, but if you look at the mini-map, it's not as big of a deal as it looks like, because Pancakes would have to sneak through right there, and, you know, that'd be kind of hard to pull off without Bonk noticing, so... Bonk is kind of nice and tight over here on his base, but Pancakes is getting a pretty significant economic lead. I think this is a good play from Pancakes here. It's a little bit of a risk, but he's saying, you know what, I kind of lost a little bit in those early game trades. Maybe if I can get my economy going a bit faster than Bonk, it'll even things out. And picking up that balloon as well certainly helps the case for Pancakes here. I don't know if he's got enough Lizards to directly engage into this. He's going to go for it, though. Yeah, and Bonk is going to push through just fine. These Skunks still alive. It could be an issue, but Bonk decides to play it safe and back home for now. All right, the Badger Warren has been placed down here for Pancakes, and Badger is going to be quite strong against what Bonk has. Badger does well against the Owl. I think he does well against everything there, really. Snakes are good against the Badger. Lizards. Maybe balloons if the balloons get the shots off that they need. But mainly when I think of Badger counters, I'm thinking of things like snakes, lizards, fox, stuff like that. Wolf too. Kind of boost everything up and don't let that Badger run away in time. Alright, speaking of wolf, Bonk has his wolf on the way, yeah. And even falcons, like, you'd be surprised, man. I've taken down some badgers unexpectedly with falcons. And toads, too. Toads can do really good in situations like that. Bonk gonna go for it here. Does he have enough to break through? It looks like it. But he backs out. I think Bonk could have just maybe won the game right there if he kept that attack going. But that can be I mean, it's easy for us to say that, because we have this omnipotent vision, but I respect that out of Bonk to back out there, because it is so easy to overextend in Tooth and Tail, man. So he's like, you know what? I took a nice little engagement. I'm not going to take the risk of overextending and letting Pancakes get back into this. I'm just going to back out for the time being. Maybe wait on the wolf and take it from there. Frost Shaft, you've never tried that in a 2v2? Seems like something you do. I'm pretty sure Premium Bow has tried everything in a 2v2. Like, I think the better question is, what hasn't he tried? Nice little pickup on that campfire there by Bonk. But Pancakes is going for it, man. He's moving out with a pretty formidable army. He's got the tier 3 advantage here. The wolf is still cooking for Bonk. And Bonk wasn't quite into position to defend this, but that's what I'm talking about, man. Falcons can really put the hurt on a Badger. Like, a little bit unexpectedly. Like, look at that. Boom, the Badger goes down. These Falcons will probably die as well. But knocking out that tier 3 is a wonderful success here for Bonk. Even keeps one Falcon alive. Now the wolf is here. Bonk just needs to keep it cool, rebuild a little bit of an army, and he should be able to push in and get a lot of counter damage done. Pancakes is going to try to get a second Badger out here. You kind of have to make that split decision in a situation like this when you lose that tier 3. Like, all right, man, am I going to invest in another one, or am I going to sell that warrant off and try to get some more tier 1 units or something like that? It's really situational. I don't think there's a right answer. It just depends on how much pressure you're under. Like, if it's super, we're in each other's face constantly, non-stop action, 9 times out of 10 you want to sell it off. But in a situation like this, Pancakes correctly read that Bonk probably won't move out. Bonk hasn't been super aggressive. And Pancakes has that 50 seconds he needs to get that additional Badger out. Third base is on the way for both players. Badger back up for Pancakes. Bonk, man, he's got the Owl Warren placed down. I think he just placed it down, right? Where is it? Am I blind? Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah, it's got about 25 seconds left until it's finished building, and then another 50 seconds for that Owl. Really, both these players have super defensible 3-base positions, right? Like, I've been kind of looking at Bonk's position here a little more, because it's like, only one real attack path. I guess he could swing around, but Pancakes has really got that same thing going on here, right? If anything, Pancakes has got the better 3-base position, because he's got this high ground here, and he's even got a nice access to that 4th. And if this game goes too long, that 4th can really make or break this, because Bonk does not have access to a 4th base, right? So here we go. Pancakes is moving in again. Lots of skunk gas, though. And it looks like Bonk is going to push this back just fine. Even keeps his tier 2 alive. Now the skunk's falling, though. He wants to get that Badger. He's going to move up, but doesn't quite get it. But again, Bonk doesn't just blindly run in and trade everything. He backs out in time. Love seeing that. Trying to get a second wolf out here is Bonk. What a madman. Badger staying alive for Pancakes, so is very nice. He needs to take a better angle. He keeps trying to attack in where these skunks can get a lot of gas value, but Bonk doesn't have the skunks this time around. Still, I mean, Wolf Buff Falcons is a big deal. That Wolf moving too far forward, though. Bonk needs a micro back, and he doesn't last minute, and the Badger goes down. And that's going to be it. Pancakes taps out. Bonk takes the match. Boom. Alright guys, that is going to be it for the show. Let's give Mr. Just Crixus the old raid here. Get that going. Thanks everybody for tuning in, especially on such short notice. You guys are awesome. Send me replays at ToothAndTailTV at gmail.com if you'd like to see your games cast. I don't do it as often as I used to, but I still try to get a show out once every couple weeks or something. So, and then also I will see you guys on Wednesday for the Tooth and Tail 1-year anniversary tournament. Make sure to sign up for that. You're all a bunch of beautiful nerds. Have a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you guys next time. See you.